Hey everybody, it's Austin with No Excuses Move. I got a doodle up here that I just want to encourage from over the last couple of videos about start getting your email to set up for the platforms and how simple it is to do it to start. And it's not an overnight thing. It might be for some people, but for the most part, everything takes time and it takes work and sharpening yourself along the way. So I made some doodles about all of this and how we can use it to build a strong community or strong communities. So I'll flip it around for everybody. So, which cycle do you see the community in, or the community in, like, kind of your environment? Do you see it a lot of, like, anger, people just kind of talking about somebody or something that just kind of creates more drama? And then are you a part of the reaction of what's happening around, about the accidents and the, speeding or just any form of drama or things that happen in the world? Are you part of the reaction, and is this kind of like the environment that you're being in? Or are you taking a second to think and say, what can I do to make this better? And then acting on it instead of reacting to it. And then moving down the line of, what can I do to make this better in the community and in my life, of course. That's where it first starts always, is in yourself and how you can sharpen it so that it may help others. So in that idea and thinking on how you can cut this cycle off in your community and in your environment and all that, so that you start taking action. And then the course is like through this video and stuff, everybody knows these things. It's nothing new. There's just, this is for the people that are seeing these things and they want to change. They're wanting difference and not being stuck in that. They're getting worn out and they're like, man, I'm so tired of this and I don't want to live like this. So this is for those people that are in that stage of, man, I want to do something better. I want to do something different. And so this is part of that, and let alone for everybody else, to get a little sharpening points on and take whatever you see from it to where your no excuses move in yourself to build strong communities. And so from like what I've seen and through a lot of influencers and just how friends have used it and stuff, how they take the content and make capital off of it. It's not slow, or it's slow at first, and it doesn't, for some people it can be overnight, just as we know, as we've seen as we've scrolled, that we've seen some people that have just blown overnight, and we're like, how in the world did this person become successful? Well, because they kind of reacted to the environment, which a lot of times, I was thinking of one specific one at the moment, that they did something that triggered everybody to start talking about it and blowing it up. So there's a lot of content that blows up like that. But I'm encouraging, of course, to build strong communities and use things that are pure and useful. So if you're going to go out and do something, take your time. Be quick to listen, slow to speak. And so you process that time about what are the benefits. What benefits is this going to be for myself? Like, not benefits as in, what am I going to gain out of it? Don't worry about like the money and all that stuff. What am I going to do to sharpen myself so as I grow in this, people don't look to me, but they look to what they can do, to where they can see, well, what can I do to make this better? And no excuses move within themselves so that their self and their household and their communities, and as it grows around the world, can be better, be more fruitful, to where everyone are working together and they're, teaching together and making useful of all their things that are given. Especially technology. Technology is an amazing tool to use to be able to connect to so many others across the world and people that have been in those situations and they're wanting to get out. So that's what the encouragement of all of this is that I want to take this content so that it ends up producing, and so that I can help build more, because of course you can't do nothing for free, and this is the freest way that people can make things happen by themselves without having to go get an LLC or start a nonprofit or something like that and get all the help from all those other entities and stuff. Instead, do it themselves and pay their taxes. And so that's the encouragement. It's like, you can do this. Every single person can do this themselves. Just pay your taxes. Give to Caesar what is Caesar, and give to God's what is God's. And what is God? God's is you. He wants that relationship with you. So get in your word. I always encourage everybody, get in your word and know him through the word, so that you may see him in truth, instead of through all the people that take his word and make it all destructive and stuff. And then people see that, and then they just get caught in that cycle of getting on there and getting mad at everybody because, oh, well, I seen this a long time ago when I was a kid, or I had a bad experience or something like that, and then just kind of creating that cycle of everybody getting mad at each other. Instead, go and do the work yourself and read the word yourself, so that you know that God's trying to build a better life for you, and he wants you to have a better life where people are working together and they are building for the body of Christ and not for themselves, and eventually, like, people live great lives and stuff like that, but it's all ends up being selfish, and then others just kind of, as people, climb up by themselves, or say that it's by themselves, and then they think that it wasn't because of the help of others. They start chewing them out, and it just creates bad relationships when people are doing things in the world for themselves instead of for what is a greater purpose. No excuses, move for the greater purpose, for him, in him. And so anyways, like, these things are you got to be very cautious in how you use these, because temptation can go quickly into them. And there's so much to get from it, to where learning to break it down so simply. And that's the reason why I like to doodle and draw, because it's, just those little aspects. People like myself can take a lot from it, seeing things in pictures. And as No Excuses Move grows, you guys will be able to see it. Instead of me just talking about it, I'll be able to physically show it, so that you guys can gain a lot and use a lot from it. So, like, whereas the capital comes in, I'll be able to buy, land and property and things like that, so that we can all come together and use those tools that are given to us. And there's plenty of organizations like Cars and Coffee groups that teach people about cars. And then there was a group that I mentioned a while ago about a woman that wanted to get families together to teach kids, teach people, let alone, about how to drive a manual. And so people getting together and learning that, and then let alone learning how to fix those manuals. So, because if you're going to drive a manual, you're going to want to learn how to fix it, so you're not having to pay another person to do it. And everything in life you can learn to do. You can learn social media. You don't have to be perfect when you get on it. That's the reason why this live is not a perfected live, and you're not seeing all the fancy cameras and the fancy room and stuff. I use what is given, and the library has this resourceful room that you can take to rent out. Rent out for hours at a time. There's 3 of these rooms, and then there's the collab, and there's just a lot that are given, to the community to use and make most of. And so, taking these, and as you go look at my other videos to, get the information about how you go set up your email, and then set up a separate email to connected, so it's not like mixed up with your bills and all that other stuff that's personal. And it goes directly just for social media. So anything in social media goes to that. Then you can organize that through your emails. And so that everything that goes through this, it helps you organize. And then create with that email each one of the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, every single thing that you can think of, and find out how to turn those into monetary. And later on, I'll be able to show clearer as as I perfect it and know the best ways to be able to use it. You know, there's a lot of content on YouTube to be able to learn how to use it. I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of different ones, and eventually I'm going to build a website so that all of it's clear in one area. And so I'm excited about that. But of course, doing a lot of this by myself, it takes a while. And so that's the reason why, you know, I'm excited for as people come on that are already gifted in those areas, and we can work together and to build strong communities so that every single thing that we know we can share, and the people that are about building these communities work together. You know, like we got Montana Meal Prep, we got Carson Coffee, we got the library, we got Collab, we got DeCava House, Cava Roots, that are, you know, sober-minded places to where you can go there and you can socialize with other entrepreneurs, business owners, and of course, I always forget that a lot of you guys don't know me. My fiance owns an art gallery called Electric Storm Gallery, so I always encourage everybody to go down there and get inspired, because it's such a peaceful place. It's not like a coffee shop where there's people in and out and talking and this and that. You can go to the gallery, and if you got homework or if you got something, to be able to just sit there and relax and then get inspired and look around at all the artists. And then, you know, Taylor knows so much, and she is such a beautiful soul that you guys could have great conversations, and let alone a lot of things are electric through there. That's the reason why I'm excited about the name Electric Storm Galleries, because so much goodness comes through there. There's so many great relationships that have been built, and so many people that I've met through there. It's been exciting. So Electric Storm Gallery, and more to come, and especially more to come through No Excuses Move, that are resourceful. I don't know every single entrepreneur in this town. There's a lot of different podcasts. There's a lot of different people. Oh yeah, there's Rebelhead Kombucha, who, you know, learning about organic ways of making, you know, going from basic coffees and things like that to a little bit more organic. And yes, there is a lot of sugar content in that, and that's something that I want to figure out too. But the aspect of going into more pure things, soaps, hygiene, and all that stuff, we talked about that in a few other videos. But I want to be able to create those hygiene products through the simplest way, and then teach people how to do it themselves, so that they can provide for their household, or people that are homeless, or families that are struggling or something like that, and then teach them. So you can teach them, and as you teach them to do it, and then through and recording it, so that you can end up making content that helps somebody, maybe not even in Billings, maybe they're in a different country, maybe they're on the other side of this country, maybe they're down the street from you, wherever it is. It'll help them, because just like me, I went on social media and I was learning about a lot of different content that's out there. And as I was growing and learning, of course, I had to sharpen myself on not reacting to every single thing that someone says, because a lot of times it's tough, because people say things and you want to, you know, you want to correct them to where it's like, listen, man, that's not exactly, you know, I don't know where you're kind of coming at me at the blue with that, out of the blue with that or whatever. And I've learned to, you know, as I get more into the word, it says, you know, if someone doesn't accept you and your message, dust your feet from them and move on. And you take those times and you think, well, what can I do to make it better? You know, how can I make the way that I say things or do things better, so that it builds these strong communities, instead of just goes back to just making myself feel good. You know, how can I make these things so people can succeed and use the tools? Because even myself, you know, I'm to be used, my hands and feet are to build for the Lord. And so how can I do that? So if this has encouraged you, shoot me a message and see how you want to, if you want to get involved in any formal way. Many hands make light work. I have a lot of different plans, and I want to create more events. I had an event 2 years ago for suicide prevention and building strong communities, where I hired Rebels and Razors downtown to cut hair free for anybody and everybody. And I'm only saying this just because, I'm just going to use that one to say a basic of I want impacts in everything that No Excuses Move is about, where it's not just people coming and talking to you and talking your ear off and stuff. People actually leave with things. People actually have that authenticness that is given to them and that they use it. So like a haircut, someone getting a free haircut, they can take that haircut and make a world of difference. It helps. And I don't know the science behind it and stuff like that, but it's like making your bed in the morning and then getting into it at night. Those little things that create such an impact. And so I'm working on getting I guess I don't need to draw it, but I'm working on getting a laser engraver, but it's out of my price budget right now. But when I get that, I would love to show you guys, especially I'll get on some lives with it, but there's a lot of things that are going to go through it. And so if there's anybody that knows that there's something good going to come from it and you want to be a part of it in any form of way, of course it's out of my price range right now. I can pay it back if somebody donates. I got PayPal, Venmo, and then Facebook Pay and stuff like that, but only give from the fullness of your heart. And that's what, when I get that laser engraver, will teach, is learn to give from the fullness of your heart and not expect back, because there's a lot to go into it, and that's the reason why I don't really want to talk too much about it. I would rather show people. So as it comes, that's what I'm excited about, is I want to have this type of interaction, not this. Like these are at times where something's on my heart to say, and it's just a way to be able to make content and not just always, and you can make content. Yeah, that's one thing. Is you can make content faceless, where you don't have to be in there, kind of like how this video is right now. You can't see me, and you're seeing the content, whether it's me drawing live or you take information from somewhere else and you edit it so that it fits your point, and so that you can share that stuff through like reels and lives and like on YouTube, so others can go back to it and check it out if they're interested in your content, and be able to eventually make capital, all from people subscribing, commenting, reacting. Like, yeah, you guys know the reactions. You guys know how social media is. And those things help produce income. And so my goal is to build communities of pure ideas and pure things for men, women, and children. So nobody's rejected. God does things for every single person. There's no groups or cliques that he does. It's only for his, children and people that are pure in heart. He uses everybody. It's, like I said, I came from this kind of world, and, we all live in this world where it's like that. And, it's not what happens to you or around you, it's how you react. And so the encouragement is that as you get closer in him, he will sharpen you. You don't have to focus on all of that in you. He will slowly, he'll wash it away from you, wash it out of you, basically. And just like one topic that when I was driving and dropping off windows is that as I drive towards the sun, you'll notice this in your vehicle a lot of times, is because as you're driving towards the sun, you may have the whole outside of the vehicle clean, the windshield all clean and stuff, but you still see a film right over the window. And you're like, why can't I see? And like God, he gets in there, and when we see that, we go in there and we clean the inside of our windshield so that we may see clearly. And that is what God does through us as we get closer to him. And we talk to him and build our relationship in him, and so that he may use us for a greater purpose and greater things in the life that he wants for us. And of course that we all want, but because of the environments and like what we hold into ourselves, we stick into that. And so through the word and actually doing the work yourself and meditating on it, you will start to, progress into a better lifestyle. People can, like I said, can succeed in the world, but it ends up, alone and empty. Going with God builds things beyond measure. There's nothing that's greater than what he has for us. And it has nothing to do with even social media. It's truly about this right here. Is people actually being together and being wholehearted and actually being their true purity to each other. That's what God wants for our life, and let alone for the life after eternity. And so no excuses. Move in him and for him. Let's build strong communities and prevent suicide. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped, and we'll see you guys on the next one.